I stared at the screen. My finger hovered over the mouse. $60,000. 60,000. It wasn't just money. It was 5 years of my life. It was the future house fund. It was the maybe we can have a wedding fund. It was every overtime shift I'd worked since I was 22. Babe. Marcus called from the other room. Did it go through? His voice had that edge to it. That anxious, impatient edge he'd developed over the last few months. The stress of getting into the MBA program, he told me. The pressure of being a high achiever. I'm doing it now, I shouted back. I looked at the portal. University of Chicago, Booth School of Business. Fall semester tuition. $58,450. Plus fees. I took a breath. A deep one. The kind that rattles in your chest. We had talked about this. We had a plan. He would get his MBA. He would triple his salary. Then I could quit the logistics job I hated. I could open my bakery. We would buy the house with the yellow shutters on Elm Street. It was an investment. In us. Just click it, Selena, he yelled. The deadline is at midnight. I clicked submit. The little loading circle spun. Round and round. Like a drain. Transaction approved. My bank account balance plummeted from a healthy, life-changing number to basically zero. It's done, I whispered. Marcus walked into the room. He didn't hug me. He didn't cry. He didn't fall to his knees and thank me for sacrificing my entire net worth for his dream. He looked at the screen. Nodded. Good, he said. He checked his watch. I'm going to the gym to burn off this adrenaline. Don't wait up. He grabbed his keys. The keys to the Audi I helped him lease because his credit score was recovering. Love you, I said to his back. Yeah, he said. The door slammed. That was Tuesday. Wednesday was normal. He was distant. Texting a lot. Smiling at his phone, then frowning at me. I cooked his favorite meal, lasagna with the expensive ricotta. He ate 2 bites and said he wasn't hungry. He said he was mentally preparing for the rigor of the semester. Thursday came. I came home early from work. I had bought a bottle of champagne. To celebrate. I wanted to make a toast to our future. To future CFO Marcus. I walked in. The apartment was quiet. Too quiet. The closet door was open. His side was empty. Not just messy. Empty. The hangers were swaying. My stomach dropped. It wasn't a butterfly feeling. It was an anchor hitting the seabed. I walked into the living room. Marcus was sitting on the couch. He wasn't wearing gym clothes. He was wearing his deal-closing suit. There was a suitcase next to him. Selena, he said. His voice was calm. Professional. Like he was firing an intern. What's going on? I asked. I was still holding the champagne. It was sweating in my hand. Cold condensation dripping onto the floor. I think we need to talk about trajectories, he said. Trajectories. I've been doing a lot of thinking, he continued. He didn't look at me. He looked at a spot on the wall just above my left shoulder. This MBA, it's going to be intense. It requires 100% of my mental bandwidth. I know, I said. That's why I'm going to handle the bills. Voking. Everything. We talked about this. He shook his head. A slow, pitying shake. It's not about chores, Selena. It's about alignment. I'm moving into a different phase of life. A different tax bracket. A different world. He stood up. I need space to focus on my studies. Total immersion. And honestly, this relationship, it's a distraction. It's an anchor. He called me an anchor. 48 hours after I paid for the boat. You're dumping me? I asked. My voice sounded small. Stupid. I'm reevaluating my priorities, he corrected. I'm staying at a hotel tonight. I'll send movers for the rest of my things on Saturday. He started walking toward the door. Wait, I said. I stepped in front of him. Marcus. The money. The tuition. He stopped. He actually laughed. A short, sharp bark of a laugh. What about it? I just paid $60,000. For your school. Because we were building a future. He sighed. He looked annoyed. Like I was asking him to explain a simple math problem to a toddler. Selena, that was a gift. You said it yourself. You wanted to support my dream. I supported us, I said. My voice was rising now. I drained my savings, Marcus. That's every dime I have. Technically, he said, adjusting his cufflinks. There was no written contract. No promissory note. You clicked the button voluntarily. He stepped around me. Look at it this way, he said, opening the door. You invested in a great product. You should be proud. You helped launch a CEO. I want it back, I said. I grabbed his arm. He shook me off. Physically shook me off. Don't be pathetic, Selena. It's undignified. Consider it rent for the last 3 years of living in my presence. He walked out. I stood there. The champagne bottle slipped from my hand. It hit the floor. Ideally, it would have shattered. Dramatic glass everywhere. But it didn't. It just bounced with a heavy thud and rolled under the sofa. I sank to the floor. I didn't cry. Not yet. I was in shock. I pulled out my phone. I opened my banking app. Balance, $412.00. Next rent payment due, 5 days. Amount due, $1,800. I was drowning. And he was on a lifeboat I had built for him. I sat there for 3 hours. The sun went down. The apartment got dark. My phone buzzed. It was an Instagram notification. I shouldn't have looked. I knew I shouldn't have looked. But I did. It was a story post. From a girl named Chloe. I knew who Chloe was. She was an old friend from his undergrad days. The kind of friend who commented fire emojis on his LinkedIn updates. The photo was blurry. Basic. 2 glasses of expensive scotch on a table. The caption, * new beginnings with this genius. #power couple, #MB abound, #finally free. *. And there in the corner of the frame was a sleeve. A suit sleeve with a specific cufflink. The cufflink I had bought him for Christmas. He hadn't gone to a hotel. He had gone to her. Finally free. That implied he had been trapped. Trapped by the woman who cooked his meals, ironed his shirts and paid his way. I felt something snap inside my chest. It wasn't a heartstring. It was the tether that held my sanity to the ground. The next morning, the reality of the power gap hit me like a physical blow. I woke up on the floor. My back ached. The apartment smelled like stale air and the expensive cologne he'd left lingering in the hallway. I had to go to work. I had to go manage logistics for a trucking fleet while my life was crashing. I sat at my desk at 8 a.m. My boss Dave walked by. You look like hell, Selena, he said. Rough night. Something like that, I muttered. I tried to work. But I kept doing the math. I made $58,000 a year. After taxes, rent, and basic survival, I saved maybe $500 a month if I was lucky. To replace the $60,000 Marcus had stolen, because that's what it was, theft, it would take me 10 years. 10 years of eating ramen. 10 years of no vacations. Meanwhile, Marcus was about to start a prestigious program. In 2 years, he'd be making $180,000 plus bonuses. He'd marry Chloe. They'd buy a house. They'd laugh about his starter girlfriend who footed the bill. I couldn't let it happen. I called him. Straight to voicemail. I texted him. Selena. Marcus, please. We need to work out a payment plan. I can't make rent. Read. 9:15 a.m. No reply. I texted again at noon. Selena. I'm serious. I'll take you to small claims court. 3 dots appeared. Finally. Marcus. Stop harassing me. A gift is a gift. If you contact me again, I'll file for a restraining order. My father's lawyer is already CC'd on this. Leave us alone. His father's lawyer. Of course. Marcus came from a family that had lawyers. I came from a family that had payment plans and layaway. I felt small. I felt stupid. I went to the bathroom at work and dry heaved into the toilet. I can't win, I whispered to the stall door. He has the money. He has the connections. He has the degree. I was just the logistics girl. The girl who was good at organizing things. The girl who read the fine print on shipping manifests. Wait. The girl who read the fine print. I wiped my mouth. I stood up. I went back to my desk. I didn't work on the trucking routes. I opened a new browser window. Incognito mode. University of Chicago Booth School of Business Student Handbook. I started reading. I read the Code of Conduct. I read the academic calendar. I read the housing policy. And then I found it. Section 4.2, Tuition Refund Policy. Students who withdraw from courses prior to the start of the semester are eligible for a 100% refund of tuition and fees. That made sense. But Marcus wasn't going to withdraw. He wanted this degree. But then I remembered something. Chloe's Instagram from last night. I pulled it up again. I zoomed in on the Scotch glasses. There was a ticket stub on the table. Just the corner of it. I squinted. It was blue and gold. Speedia. It looked like a boarding pass. I went to Chloe's main profile. She was an influencer. A travel vlogger with 50K followers. Her bio. Next stop. Bali Palm Tree month-long retreat starting Monday. Classes started on Monday. Orientation was this weekend. If Marcus was going to Bali with her on Monday, he couldn't be in class in Chicago. My brain started connecting dots. Marcus didn't have money. I knew that. I paid for everything. His credit cards were maxed out. That's why I paid the tuition directly. So how was he affording a month in Bali? And why did he dump me after the tuition was paid, but before classes started? If he wanted to dump me, he could have done it last week. Unless he never intended to go to school. My heart started hammering against my ribs. I looked at the student handbook again. Refund processing asterisk. Refunds are processed within 7 to 10 business days of withdrawal. The math didn't work for him. If he withdrew today, he wouldn't get the money for a week. He couldn't pay for the trip. Unless he thought he could get a check. I kept reading. I scrolled down to section 4.2.b, disbursement of refunds. I read the paragraph. Then I read it again. And then for the first time in 48 hours I smiled. It was a mean smile. A wolf smile. The text read, asterisk to comply with federal anti-money laundering regulations Title IV. All tuition refunds must be returned to the original source of payment. No exceptions. Asterisk. Original. Source. Of payment. Me. He didn't know. He thought the university was like a store. You return the shirt, you get cash back. Or a check made out to student. He thought he could use my $60,000 as a personal piggy bank. He was going to withdraw, get the check, and go to Bali with Chloe. He was going to steal my life savings to fund his honeymoon with another woman. I checked the time. 1:45 p.m. I picked up the office phone. University of Chicago, Office of the Bursar. A woman answered. Her voice was crisp. Hi, I said. My voice was steady. My name is Selena Vance. I paid the tuition for a student named Marcus Thorne 2 days ago. ID number 899 to 402. One moment, Ms. Vance. Yes, I see the payment. An electronic transfer of $60,250. I'm just calling to confirm. I paused. I had to play this perfectly. Marcus mentioned he was having second thoughts. He mentioned withdrawing. Has he done that yet? There was a typing sound. Actually, yes, she said. Mr. Thorne came in personally about an hour ago. He processed a full withdrawal from all courses. Got him. Oh, I said. I see. And did he request a refund? He did, the woman sighed. He was actually quite insistent that we cut him a paper check today. He made a bit of a scene. Said he had a flight to catch. What did you tell him? We told him that's not possible. The system processes refunds automatically in batch cycles. He seemed to think. Well, he left thinking the check would be mailed to his apartment in 5 to 7 days. Did you tell him about the original payment method rule? I asked. I tried to, she said. But he was in a hurry. He said, just send it to the address on file, and stormed out. The address on file. His apartment. He thought the check was coming to him. He thought he had a $60,000 windfall coming in the mail next week. So, I said, just to be clear. The money isn't going to him. No, ma'am. Since you paid via ACH transfer from your personal Chase account, the system will automatically reverse the transaction. You should see the funds in 3 to 5 business days. Thank you, I said. Thank you so much. I hung up. Tomorrow. They were flying today. I looked at Chloe's story. They were at O'Hare Airport. First class lounge. Marcus was holding a glass of champagne. He looked smug. He looked rich. He looked like a man who had successfully pulled off the heist of the century. I waited. I let them board. I waited until I knew they were in the air. 14 hours to Doha, then a connection to Bali. They would be in the air when the money hit my account. and they would land in Bali, broke. I went to sleep that night and slept like a baby. A baby who had just committed a perfect legal murder. Tuesday morning, 7 a.m. My phone pinged. Chase Bank alert. Deposit of $60,250 available. I stared at it. It was back. It was all back. I transferred it immediately to my high-yield savings account. Then I moved it to a different bank entirely. Just in case. Then I waited for the landing. According to my calculations and flight tracker, they were landing in Denpasar, Bali in 2 hours. I went to work. I hummed. You seem better today, Dave said. I feel lighter, Dave, I said. Much lighter. At 2 p.m. my time my phone started ringing. It was Marcus. I didn't answer. It rang again. And again. Then the text started. Marcus, Selena? Marcus, did you get a check? Marcus, answer the phone. Marcus, urgent. I let it marinate. I went to lunch. I had a nice salad. I bought a coffee. When I got back to my desk I had 14 missed calls and 20 texts. The tone had shifted. Marcus, the university said the money went to you. Marcus, send it to me now. Marcus, we are at the hotel and my cards are declining. Marcus, Selena, pick up. It was time. I put on my headset. I pressed accept. Hello. I said cheerful. Selena. He was screaming. I could hear background noise. Tropical birds? Or maybe just other angry tourists. What did you do? Marcus? I thought you were in class. Shouldn't you be studying? Cut the crap, he shrieked. I'm in Bali. The hotel is asking for a $5,000 deposit and my cards are maxed out because I paid for the flights. The university said they sent the refund to you. Oh, I said. Yeah. I saw that. It hit my account this morning. Hey, good. Good. Listen, just wire it to me. I'll text you the routing number for the Bank of Bali or whatever. Just send it now. Hurry. I leaned back in my chair. I twirled a pen. No, I said. Silence. What did you say? I said no. It's not your money, Marcus. It's my money. It returned to the original payment method. That's federal policy. Anti-money laundering. You know, legal stuff. Your dad's lawyer would understand. Are you insane? His voice cracked. It went up an octave. I dropped out for that money. I withdrew. That is my refund. Actually, I said, it's a refund for tuition. Since you aren't paying tuition and you didn't pay for it in the first place. It's just my savings returning home. Selena, listen to me, he said. He was trying to sound dangerous but he just sounded desperate. I have Chloe here. This is embarrassing. We are at the Four Seasons. Wow, the Four Seasons, I said. That sounds expensive. How are you going to pay for that? With the money you are going to send me. I'm not sending you a dime, Marcus. You dumped me. You said the relationship was a distraction. You said you needed to focus. Well, now you can focus on getting home. I can't get home, he screamed. I bought one-way tickets. I was going to buy the return flight with the refund. I laughed. Actually laughed. It bubbled up out of me pure and cold. That sounds like a trajectory problem, Marcus. Maybe you should reevaluate your priorities. Selena, please, he whimpered. The switch was instant. The arrogance was gone. Wait, please. I made a mistake. The pressure got to me. I just needed a break. I was going to come back to you. I swear. Is Chloe standing right next to you? I asked. Silence. Put her on, I said. What? Put Chloe on the phone. There was a muffled sound. Then a hesitant female voice. Hello? Selena. Hi, Chloe, I said. Just a heads up. Marcus is unemployed. He's not in the MBA program, he dropped out yesterday. He has no money. His credit cards are maxed out. And the refund he was banking on? It's sitting in my savings account. He's broke. Stuck in Bali. With you. What? Chloe said. Her voice was flat. He told me he had a trust fund payout coming. He lied, I said. He lies about everything. Good luck with the hotel bill. I hung up. Then I blocked both of them. I sat there for a minute feeling the silence of the office. Then I printed out a screenshot of the refund receipt. I framed it. The fallout was slow and then all at once. I didn't hear from Marcus directly because, well, he was blocked. But I heard from the world. 2 days later his mother called me. Selena, surely there's been a misunderstanding, she said. He sounded tired. He's in a bit of a situation in Indonesia. I heard, I said. He says you stole $60,000 from him. Mrs. Thorne, I said. I have the receipt. I paid the school. He withdrew. The school refunded me. I didn't take his money. I took my money back. He spent his own money on a vacation he couldn't afford. She was quiet. She knew her son. She knew exactly what he was. I see, she said. Well, I suppose he'll have to figure it out. She didn't offer to bail him out. Rumor was he'd already borrowed $5,000 from his dad last month for books that he spent on the Audi lease. I found out later what happened in Bali. Chloe left him. She didn't just leave him, she left him there. She used her own credit card to book a flight home the same day. She posted a story from the airport. Single era starts now. Victory hand don't trust liars. Marcus had to call his parents. They refused to pay for a Four Seasons. They bought him a coach ticket home, but only after he spent 3 days sleeping in the airport terminal because he couldn't afford a hotel room. When he got back to Chicago he came to the apartment. I had already changed the locks. He banged on the door. Selena, open up. I know you're in there. I walked to the door. I didn't open it. I shouted through the wood. Go away, Marcus. I need my clothes. I need my suits. I donated them, I lied. I hadn't. They were in a pile in the dumpster out back soaking in the rain. But donated sounded nicer. I'm going to sue you. Go ahead. I yelled. I have the receipts. I have the text messages. I have the university policy. Bring it on. He didn't sue. He couldn't afford a lawyer. And his dad wasn't going to pay for a losing case. 6 months have passed since the Bali incident. Life is quiet. But it's a good quiet. I didn't buy the yellow shutter house on Elm Street. It had too many bad memories attached to the dream of us. Instead, I bought a duplex on the other side of town. It has a big kitchen. I quit the logistics job. I didn't open a bakery immediately. I'm too practical for that. But I started a catering business on the weekends. The Refund Kitchen. Just kidding. I called it Selena's. Just my name. No attachments. The business is growing. I have 3 recurring corporate clients. As for Marcus, I saw him once. I was at the grocery store buying flour. He was working at the customer service desk. He was wearing a vest that was too tight. He looked tired. He looked older. He saw me. He froze. He held a price gun like a weapon. I could have walked away. I could have hidden. But I didn't. I walked right up to his lane. I put my flour on the belt. Hi, Marcus, I said. He looked down at the scanner. Beep. Hi, Selena, he mumbled. How's the MBA going? I asked. Maybe. Necessary? Absolutely. I'm taking a gap year, he said. He didn't look me in the eye. Saving up. Tuition went up again. That's tough, I said. You should check the refund policy before you enroll next time. Just in case. He flinched. I paid for my flour. Keep the receipt, I said. I walked out to my car. My car. Not a lease. Not his Audi. My reliable paid-off Honda. I sat in the driver's seat. I thought about the girl who lay on the floor crying over a bottle of warm champagne. I thought about how small she felt. How she thought she had lost everything because a man decided she was just a stepping stone. She didn't know yet that she was the architect of her own rescue. I started the engine. The sun was setting. It was hitting the windshield in that perfect golden way. I drove home. To my house. To my money. To my life. Cost me a broken heart and a terrifying week of uncertainty. But I got a full refund on the bad relationship. And honestly, it was the best investment I ever made.